Welcome. Hello. Hi. What?
Is that
It's
filming?
on.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome to hashtag Nailed It with me, Tovalee.
And me, Michael.
I sort of like forgot how we were doing the intros.
How many of these have we done now?
I don't know, but I sort of like forgot. You know, you just go like, how do I do it? How do we normally do it? The dogs are running. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to another show.
Indeed.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yes, you're good?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. I'm glad. I'm very glad. It's been a long week.
Been a couple of minutes. Yes, since last week.
I know. I did change my top though.
Oh, I just noticed.
Yeah. Do you like it? It's my sailor's top.
Very nice.
Those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we do film these podcasts as well, and you can find them on my YouTube channel.
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank
Very,
you. You like it? Very kind of sailorish.
What's the
Sailory?
word?
What?
Navally? No,
Navy.
navally. Very,
Navy.
There's a word for it. Very,
Navalness. Navus?
Maritime, very...
Naval.
Sea-tastic.
You know that Leon's computer reminds me of my old computer that doesn't work anymore, and all my old photographs are on it. That's nice.
That's my old computer.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a project for you, by the way.
What?
Get all my pictures, my memories off my
You
old
do
computer.
it.
No,
Why should I do it?
I don't know how.
Oh, don't give me that. You're far more au fait with computers than I am.
Do you have a person? We need a person.
No.
Okay. We will discuss it later.
Talking of which, well, not really, kind of.
Yeah.
That was an awful segue.
It really was.
But tonight we're going to talk about this sort of thing. Again, you know, with dry January, people didn't.
Yes. How did that go, by the way? You failed.
I did about 2 weeks before I had a drink.
Yeah.
Now I'm really drinking loads. I'm catching up.
Exactly.
I had off.
This is why these type of, detoxes
Really going for it.
are so bad. It's like going on a diet and saying, I'm never eating chocolate again, right? And then you resist and you hold yourself for maybe a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. And then you fall off the wagon and you just go for it. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what's happened to you.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
But it got me thinking because I was reading, people ate vegan food, people don't drink, people don't smoke, whatever, caffeine. And the one thing that sort of people sort of coming up more and more is doing social media detoxes, whereby you take off your phone, probably mainly, and computer, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these things that you kind of dip into a lot during the day.
Wait, so people were doing this in January?
Well, no,
in general?
well, you do it anytime you want, but just in general.
Right.
And how more and more people are trying it. And obviously how more people are finding it difficult because how social media is
they
now
draw
a fabric of your life. Because it's obviously where you chat to your mates, family mainly, and whatever.
Wait, so can I just ask, because the classic detox, right? When you say detox, you immediately think of like going to a lovely spa hotel. Just me, but a nice spa hotel. Walk around like with a white robe and slippers all day and drink kind of like herbal teas. Do you know what I mean? And like have like fruit shakes. So would you do the same thing?
You can if you wanted
with
to.
social media.
But I think you just get on with your normal life.
Oh, and
you
just
don't have
like
these things on your phone.
So that's not very that doesn't sound much like fun at all.
Well, it's not meant to be fun.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
It's
I'm
meant to be
thinking
getting your
detox.
life back.
It's like going like on it's like rehab. It's like you're going to like.
It's the word that people use.
Oh right. Okay.
It's just a word people use.
You don't have a shake.
Detox.
There are no shakes.
I don't think so. You can have a shake if you want. But I think the whole point is so many people, when asked about why do you do this, everyone comes up with the same reply.
Yeah.
I don't use it much. It's only when I've got a bit of time I'll check on stuff and whatever. And experts say, well, no, because it's not just the moment you're checking stuff. Someone might annoy you on Facebook. You're then thinking about it for later. And it affects your life. And the whole thing about sleep patterns, looking at before you go to bed, the amount of kids who have their phones by their beds now. And how it's really, really affecting people.
You have your phone in the bedroom.
Yeah, but it's off. I don't have it on.
Yeah, but it's right by the bed. I wake up. I just want to say this and share this with the whole world. But I wake up in the morning, like sometimes 6 o'clock, and there you are on your phone already, reading in bed with the little light glaring on you.
And I love it.
Awful.
Yeah, but you say it's awful, but I'm not on social media. I read the newspapers.
It's true, though. You are not on social media.
I read the papers.
This is true.
I've got
this
on
is
my
correct.
phone, I've got about 3 or 4 newspaper apps, BBC, and I wake up that time and and read the news to give you people wonderful shows like this.
Yeah.
But, that was a joke. But, you know, that's it. But I do. That's the only time I don't have. Again, the days of getting a paper and sitting on the tube or going to the cafe and sitting open and reading a big paper. Even on a Sunday, I used to love getting the Sunday papers. Used to read them back to front. No, I don't have time.
Totally.
It's just so much quicker now, just on the phone and you know, flick around and find stuff. Yeah. So that's my excuse.
But anyway. I totally get the whole need to do a detox.
It's difficult for you because it's kind of your work.
Wait, but I feel like I think we've talked about this, maybe not on the podcast, but privately for sure, but maybe on the podcast even like ages ago. I feel like social media is the modern day cocaine. You know,
Go on.
Yeah, I feel like social media has replaced drugs. I mean, you know, obviously I'm 44. I don't really know what the young people are doing, but like from the few young people that I know, they're not really into drugs like our generation was, right? So like, and I remember when I was growing up, my parents were petrified from drugs. Like that was the thing that they always really used to kind of hammer into us, like be careful and and whatever. And when I look at young people today, I think they actually do less drugs and drink even less alcohol than we used to. But they're far more addicted to social media. And again, like we're not.
Surely it's not as dangerous as.
It's a different, but I think it's a different type of a danger. Yeah, you're right. In many ways, it's not as dangerous because we're far more dangerous to get into the car behind a wheel. Wait, but online bullying is quite dangerous. You know, there's other things that are other dangers that we can't really think about. And I think it definitely has an element of addiction to it. And I think it has been linked to, how do you say, mental health, depression, and also the fact that people are so into their virtual worlds, they're not so into their real world. So that means there's a lot of loneliness and like anxiety and all these type of things. I think, again, it's hard for us to say what's worse, what's better. It's just different, you know?
The one thing I've noticed, I certainly think, I don't know if there's any studies, I think people's attention spans have got much, much shorter because of social media, YouTube, things like that. Yeah. Whereby you'll watch stuff and all that. And so sitting and watching a 2-hour film is, even that's properly, you know, I think people find quite difficult now.
You know, the lady that I told you about, Sophie Cook, I think is her name. She was the lady I went to hear her talk. She's a trans woman who used to be a MP and a football coach. Remember I told you this?
Right.
And she's now a woman, and she wrote a book, an amazing book that's called Not Today. And the book is about depression, about how she, you know, was suicidal for years, and she sort of came up with this thing whereby she said the way she copes with it is that she says to herself, I'm going to kill myself one day, but it's not going to be today, right? Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because in her talk, she talks about social media. And the thing she said about it in this connection, which I think is so spot on, is that we live in this time that we've never had so much information at the tip of our fingers, right? Like never before. But what it's made us is actually very lazy and not proof check. This is the thing that I think is like the biggest danger. We've talked about it about social media, in my opinion, is that nobody actually checks facts anymore. If an opinion is popular enough, it becomes the truth. Nobody cares if it's true or not, if it actually happens. And also, you know, it's a world, there's facts and there's like a world of opinions. Even opinions today are so lazy. People don't even have real original opinions. You see something tweeted enough, it becomes your opinion, and then people just regurgitate it. Is that a word? Regurgitate it. Like, yeah, and just say it again and again, and then it becomes like the popular opinion. I have a theory, by the way. Okay, can I just really go off on one now?
Please do.
Like, I have a theory that the social media is a bit like the stock market. You know, like options and stock markets. Do you know what options are, right? So like in options, it's almost like betting. You there's puts, and I can't remember the other one is, what is it? It's like up and down. You bet on the market. Like you bet the market's going to go up. You bet the market's going to go down. It is exactly like Twitter. Exactly. Something happens. nobody cares about the story that happens. People care about the popular opinion about the story that happens, right? And that's your option. That's the option. So you either bet up or you bet down. And then sometimes, in order to get the story to keep it going, comes the second popular opinion, which is normally a sort of like a side opinion, it's either against opinion or like a side opinion, and people roll on that opinion. And I think that the people that are making the most money out of social media are the people who play social media like it was the stock market. That is my theory. Because you can put money on it. How do you put money on it? If I'm a website like BuzzFeed or all those websites who have these opinion pieces, right? I want people to click on my stuff, on my opinions. Every time people click, I make money. So that's exactly it. If you jumped on the popular opinion, right, in the right time, right, people are clicking on your opinion, and every click you get money. That's how you make money off social media. Yeah. But it's very sad because most people don't. Most people just, like I said, just jump in and just kind of repeat. This is the biggest danger in social media is actually making people stupid. So the fact that we're addictive is a given, right? The fact that it's making us depressed because we're comparing ourselves to other people is a given. But I think the biggest damage the social media has done to the human race is the fact that it's made us really dumb.
Slight side point. There was recently the UK have left the EU. Well, the beginning of the negotiations going to happen. And there was, I don't want to get into if you backed Remain or Leave. I'm not going to go down that route. And I know many people who backed Leave who did it for, decent reasons, etc., etc. But it was incredible to see the people that TV cameras filmed celebrating us leaving the EU. Because the stuff that they didn't know why, it was like, why it was such a great day. What a great night. We left Europe. Oh, why is that a good thing? Well, we got our independence back. We've always been sort of independent. Now we can make our own laws. We've got Parliament. We make our own laws now.
Yeah.
And it was just watching these people. I sat there. I'm not blaming them. I'm going, you have been fed something so much.
Yes. Yes.
Let's get it done.
Yes.
Take Britain back. Whatever the one-line slogan is. That politicians use, and you've used that so much, as you just mentioned, it's gone in, and they've physically gone out into town to a party to celebrate something when they didn't quite know, and no one knows what it means because we haven't properly left yet, and the ramifications of it we'll obviously learn in the next few years. Will it be a good thing? Will it be a bad thing? All this is to be decided.
The biggest issue is I think there still aren't enough laws that regulate social media because it's relatively quite new. So whereas at the end of the day, there's always that question: does press and media actually cover what happens, or does it create the news? Is it covering the news, or is it creating the news? Right? And one would argue that actually in most cases it does create the news. There's an element of it because these people are competing with each other. They want you at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whenever the main news is on, to sit and watch their channel. So they're going to give you the best version of the story for you to want to watch it, right? So it's always been the case. But I think it's so much worse with social media, right? Because it's not just like a few kind of high-end channels with good journalists sitting there. It's shit like BuzzFeed. And like those websites, right? Listen.
I'm listening.
And they reach the masses, the millions. Not everybody reads the paper. People don't care about the news. Nobody's watching Sky, but everybody's scrolling.
To give you an example, I've just put on my phone there, this Twitter, trending. Most of the time, I don't know what trending things are. So trending at the moment in the United Kingdom is Richard Keys. Richard Keys is a football pundit. I have no idea what that story is. Food trending, Pizza Hut. What's happened with Pizza Hut today? No idea. Celebrity, people can't get over Zoe Kravitz's dress on the BAFTA red carpet. Trending the UK, thankfully, coronavirus. Dermot Gallagher, who's a football referee. Microsoft, Dean Street, Luke Thompson. This is it. I'm now being told what's out there in the news.
Yeah.
None of that was on the BBC News today, as far as I'm aware.
Well,
I don't know. But, it's talk about how it pushes you towards something.
Wait, so going back to the original question with regards to the detox of social media, I feel like social media is evil.
Right.
If you are on social media, you should get off it as once. Oh, really? I feel like, whereas originally when you think about the first, kind of platforms and what the purpose of them was, it's a really great idea. The whole idea of the internet was to bring people closer, to make the world smaller, to make information much more accessible, amazing, right? These are all amazing things. But like I said, it's not regulated. Nobody actually checks that the stuff that goes on social media is true. Nobody cares. And that's a real issue.
But they Twitter last week finally banned far right and a far left commentator, for want of a better word, for what the stuff they've done, because, you can rightly argue the stuff they're saying can incite hatred and violence.
But that's different.
Yeah, but that's the start. Everyone go, freedom of speech, freedom. It's a very fine line there, isn't it? We're a democratic country. Aren't we wonderful that we've got freedom of speech? But I think it's very, very tested when you've got people who I don't think should have
to be
freedom of
honest,
speech.
I could go on about this really for hours, because I know. But when it comes to it comes to regulation, it's funny because I had a conversation with somebody from Facebook today, and this type of thing comes up always when I talk to them, because I'm very honest about it. As somebody who is a creator on Facebook, right, it's very frustrating to me knowing that when I create content that I think is good content or that has some sort of value apart from it being just trashy and clickbaity. It doesn't do very well. Whereas if you put something really bad and just super clickbaity, it does really well. It's very frustrating. It has a platform. They say that's not what they want. But in real life, that's what does well on the platform. So it's very problematic. You know what I mean? And then also there's a whole issue of censorship. You talk about freedom of speech, but for example, I wasn't able to advertise my book on Facebook and on Instagram. I've now been able to, but I've had to remove a lot of the words in my ads in order for them to be acceptable, and it's like the title of my book, right? It's the F word with stars, and you kind of think, but then you've got hate pages, neo-Nazi pages, and look at the comment section on any post on Facebook. They're all hateful, and that's okay, but a book,
but it's also
it's going to be in stores, is that okay?
I think it's distasteful. I hate seeing, and it's never, we're going into specifics here with Twitter, it's never anyone that I follow that puts it up, but it's someone who likes someone else. So there's certain people on Twitter I deliberately don't follow, but if someone you follow likes them, it will still come up. So the one thing I hate, and I don't get why people put it on, or I know they sort of go, we must stop this, is when people post bullying videos.
Yeah.
Oh, when you watch a kid, this is happening so-and-so, we've got to track down these. But why are you showing it? Is that really going to stop people? Send it to the police. Send it straight to the police and go, someone has filmed this. I've got hold of it. I don't see some poor kid having this beaten up on a bus.
I told you why, because somebody's making money off that video.
Horrible.
That's why.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I think detox of social media is great. It's a great idea. But
Will you ever do it?
Yeah, I vote, though, for robes, shakes, and some sort of resort somewhere in the Alps, and do it really properly. Amazing. Okay. But you know what? I've been doing not detox, of course, and I am on my phone far too much, and I hate it. But to be honest, on the weekends, I can't be asked. I'm like, I don't really understand why I need to be on social media the whole time.
You'll WhatsApp me and I never reply because I normally
I know,
my phone
I can't be asked. It's too much. Yeah. Anyway, we have to finish because I have to go pick up the kids.
Yes.
But this was really interesting.
No,
I feel like we have a lot to say.
This conversation.
Yeah, actually, I think maybe this is a conversation we should expand and ask people what they think, and hear from you guys. So if you have any thoughts on this subject, please email us. You can email me, tova@tovali.com.
And I was going to say, if you do like this podcast, please
yes.
Would you leave a review?
Subscribe, leave a review, tell your friends.
Yes.
And that is it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.